Every time I hop on these videos, I never know what I'm gonna say until I start recording. So like, I literally just pray before I start recording, and then whatever the Spirit leads me to say, I say. But I guess in this video, I'm gonna speak on lust. I'm gonna speak on what lust is and how it can affect you, right? So, like I've said before, lust is so the desire for sex was given to us by God. So we all have this desire to like procreate, let's say. But then the devil has perverted this desire, causing us to have lust and have sex in ways that God didn't intend for us. Now, when we partake in sexual immorality, it lowers our electromagnetic field. It lowers the cloak, the covering that we build up through semen retention. It lowers this field, and now we're more susceptible to spiritual attacks. So the devil's intention when we partake in sexual immorality is he wants to lower this field, and now because we're operating in this lower place, we're able to be attacked spiritually in our dreams and in the physical realm. And these attacks can deter us off our purpose in life. And it pushes us away from God, causes us to feel shame. And if we fall into a habit of engaging into the lust, you can just keep pushing yourself away from what God has intended for you, pushing yourself from who you're supposed to be in this life, and you'll just keep getting attacked. You'll see it in your daily life. Opportunities won't be coming. People will be treating you different because you feel different about yourself. Who you are internally is who you'll project to the world, right? So now that you have these eyes of shame, these eyes of disgust, and you're looking through the window into this world, people will look at you and that's what they see, and they will treat you as you are. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why if you stay on a clean path, a pure path, you'll not fall into these problems. You really won't fall into these problems because you've set yourself at a higher place. Your electromagnetic field is increased. God's grace is just overflowing. And it's not an easy thing to do, but if you can find a routine or an equation or technique to help you sustain purity, then you're less likely to have attacks in your life, spiritual attacks. You're more likely to find out who you are and your purpose. And it's easy to become close to God when you're pure. It's hard to find God in sin because God hates sin. Now he's like saved us, he redeemed us, and we have to try to not be in that place. And it's not by our might that we're able to not fall into sin. It's by his grace. Now, grace doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. My idea of what grace is God gives us an ability that allows us to get through to sin. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying. He gives us an ability that allows us to surpass sin. It's not a thing where he just gives it to you as a forgiveness, meaning you can do what you want. So yes, we are forgiven, but once you understand his grace and you walk in his grace, it means you understand shame, you understand what it's like to not be with him. But the grace is like an armor. The grace is something that holds your spirit together and pushes you in this life, and you realize the grace that you have, or the grace that you've been given, is free and anyone can have it. So I know I have it right now, and the way you attain it is you spend time with him. That's why I always recommend reading the Psalms in the morning. When you spend time with God in the morning, you attain this grace that allows you to beat sin, literally. So like I said before, I tried to do semen retention in the past on my own, and it was the hardest thing in the world. I felt like a demon had me at one point. The urges I was feeling were crazy. But then when I add Christ into the equation, the grace that comes, it's as if now I'm just relaxing in my body and I'm relying on the Holy Spirit to just lead me throughout the day. Now, this is where we have to be careful as well, because Christ isn't something you use for self-improvement, but he is like the best self-improvement at the same time. So when I say he's not for self-improvement, it's not like, okay, you know the equation, you do the equation, and then you just get on with your life. When I say the equation, I mean read the Psalms, do this, and then go, because you've got the grace and you go. Because yes, Christ is the best self-improvement, but he's a loving God. It's God of love, right? It's literally love that you will experience in these moments. And love isn't something that we should take for granted, especially a love like this, right? And when you experience this grace daily as you're practicing semen retention, meaning you're reading Psalm 23 to 27 plus a 91, right? And 103. When you're reading these Psalms and then spending time with Christ, your semen retention journey will be so much easier. Like I said before, it's not like you're trying to do semen retention. A lot of guys stay stuck on counting the days of how long they can retain their semen for. And I used to do the same. Sometimes I get caught in the habit now, but it's supposed to be a lifestyle. It's not something that you're trying to reach, because if you're one of those people who's like, oh, I've done this many days, then you will fail. Whereas if it's something that you do because this is how you live, you'll go so far. Because let's say like this, like brushing your teeth, you don't be like, oh, brush my teeth today, 5 days I brush my teeth, or it's been a month, every day I brush my teeth, right? At some point it's going to be like, but if you're brushing your teeth every day because that's what you do, it's not gonna, it's not like you're failing at something. Like you're literally just gonna just keep stacking. I feel like I don't know if that was the best example, but if you're someone who's trying to keep counting the days, you will fail. It's supposed to be a lifestyle. So keep it as a lifestyle, add Christ into the equation on semen retention, and let the grace guide you, let the grace lead you. Because once you've got that grace, you can literally chill, you can relax. And don't let lust be something that destroys your life, because it's so easy for that to be the case. Now, I'm not saying, because now that I've got Christ, semen retention is the easiest thing in the world. But it's a whole different game. It's a different story when you add Christ. So I recommend add Christ in your semen retention journey. Now, what lust will do is take you from who you're supposed to be, take you from your purpose, and take you from God. Whereas if you engage in purity, it will draw you closer to who you are, draw you closer to your purpose, and draw you closer to God. So if you add Christ into the equation and let the grace lead you, you will succeed.